Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the 2025 State of the City Address. My name is Kurt Skotkicki. I'm the President and CEO of the YMCA and the Board Chair for the Chamber of Commerce. It says here the 111th Board Chair. Not to be mistaken, I'm not 111, but 111th Board Chair for the Whittier Chamber of Commerce. Wow, that's impressive. That's pretty cool. Good stats. The Chamber and the City, the shared importance of working together in helping our business community and also furthering the efforts of nonprofits and things in our community, as well as the educational institutions within the community itself. We're proud to be here as the host for the event this year, as usual, on the fall activities. Anything good going on? How about those Dodgers? There you go. That'll get everybody up. I won't take much time, but I want to thank everybody and welcome in. And I always give a shameless plug for the YMCA, of course. That's part of being the chair of the chamber. You get to get a 30 seconds is what they're telling me. Pumpkin Plunge on Saturday, prayer breakfast first Friday in December. Make sure you get signed up for both of those. Give out pumpkins instead of candy. How about that? That's a pretty cool thing. There'll be candy too, don't worry. So bring your kids on over to the Y on Saturday for that event. Without further ado, I want to bring up Mayor Pro Tem Octavio Martinez and do the Pledge of Allegiance.
Everybody, let's do that shuffle where we all stand. Please place your hand over your heart. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated.
Good morning, everybody. As Kurt mentioned, it is truly a pleasure to present this today. The Chamber's success is built on the strong partnerships we share with organizations and leaders throughout our community. Our strength lies in the dedication of our members and our commitment to working hand in hand with the city and all of its stakeholders to continue growing Whittier together. This morning, I'd like to begin by recognizing a few of our very distinguished special guests who have joined us today. Representing the City of Whittier, Mayor Joe Vinatieri, Mayor Pro Tem Octavio Cesar Martinez, Council Member Marianne Pacheco, Council Member Kathy Warner, our City Manager Conal McNamara, Assistant City Manager Shannon Hammer, representing our Police Department, Chief Aviv Bar, representing our elected officials, Fred Zermeno, Office of Senator Bob Archuleta, our City of Whittier Department heads with us today are Keith Collins, City Attorney, Kyle Kaysen, Director of Public Works, Paymani Magsudi, Director of Library Services, Rigo Garcia, City Clerk, Tram Pham, Interim Finance Director, Virginia Santana, Director of Parks, Recreation, and Community Services, Yolanda Martinez, Director of Human Resources and Risk Management, Luis Escobedo, Assistant Director of Community Development, Werner Abrego, Senior Economic Development and Housing Analyst. We are proud of our partnerships with our local school districts, and we have with us from the Whittier Union High School District, Vice President of the Board, Irma Rodriguez-Moise, and Superintendent Monica Oviedo. From the East Whittier City School District, Board Member Christine Chacon Kennedy, and Superintendent Mark Patterson. And from the Los Nietos School District, we have Board Trustee Emilio Sosa. From Rio Hondo College, we have Oscar Valladares, President and of the Board of Trustees. And lastly, our community partners, we have Karen Spilsbury, Executive Director of the Norwalk Chamber of Commerce. And finally, can I please have all of our Whittier Chamber board members please stand and be recognized? There's a lot of you here. We appreciate all that these great businesses and community leaders do to make our chamber successful and our community thrive. And lastly, we want to take a moment to thank our sponsors whose support makes today's event possible. Corporate sponsors, Athens Services, Boys and Girls Club of Whittier and Pico Rivera, DoubleTree Hotel Whittier, Kaiser Permanente, PIH Health, Republic Services, SoCal Gas Company, Suburban Water Systems, The Whole Child, and the YMCA of Greater Whittier. And our community sponsor, MAP Property Management and Services. And our reserved tables for today are the City of Whittier, Jones and Mayer Law, Rose Hills Memorial Park and Mortuary, Southern California Edison. So thank you so much for being a reserved table. Okay, I think the clapping is officially over, so I'm just going to read a little bit more. So we are truly grateful for these community partners who have helped make this event special for all of you today. For many years, the Chamber and the City have shared a common goal, promoting Whittier as a thriving, business-friendly community. Together, we've worked to support our local businesses, strengthen our economy, and ensure Whittier remains a safe and vibrant place to live, work, and do business. Today, that work continues. The Whittier Chamber remains a trusted resource, helping businesses regain market share through marketing, advocacy, and educational opportunities. Thanks to our strong reputation and credible voice, we are proud to serve as a year-round partner in growing our community. And now, it's my pleasure to welcome, actually, I'm going to actually do this part, sorry. Greg Durkee actually couldn't be here today. He had to work, so if you see that on your timeline, but I'm going to go ahead and do this part. So a successful community depends on a thriving economy. And in today's environment, having a thoughtful and comprehensive economic development strategy is more important than ever. The Chamber is proud to be a catalyst for business growth and an active partner in that process. The State of the City program is just one of the many ways the Whittier Chamber supports local economic development. We are fortunate to enjoy strong relationships with our city's elected officials and staff, giving our members valuable access and insight through programs just like this one. Today, we represent over 560 members, together employing more than 25,000 people. Many of you already know the value of Chamber membership, not just in building a stronger business, but in building a stronger community. The Chamber also serves as an extension of the city's economic development department, helping to attract new investment while supporting and retaining existing businesses. At the same time, we act as a convener, bringing key people together to find solutions to both business and community challenges. We are especially grateful for our partnerships with the Whittier Uptown Association and the Uptown Whittier Improvement Association, as we work together to enhance and promote our Uptown area. We also champion our community by encouraging residents to shop local year-round, keeping sales tax dollars right here in Whittier. Looking ahead, the Whittier Chamber will continue to support our members through referrals, expert guidance, educational workshops, networking opportunities, and community events. And we will continue to advocate vigorously on behalf of the business community, sharing your voice with decision makers and standing up for the best for Whittier. It's worth repeating the Chamber is the sum of its 560 members. That collective strength makes us the single most powerful voice for business in our community. As we move forward, we are excited and optimistic about the many opportunities taking shape in Whittier. Upcoming programs like our community job fair on November 4th, will help jumpstart workforce development by connecting employers with local talent. And our legislative luncheon series on November 7th featuring LA County Assessor Jeff Prang will continue to keep our members informed and educated on key issues impacting our business community. On behalf of the Whittier Chamber and the Board of Directors, thank you for joining us today. I know you're actually here to hear from Conal and the mayor, not me. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome and introduce our mayor, Joe Vinatieri.
So good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Yeah, I'm looking. People are smiling, and you know, lately there hasn't been a whole lot of smiling. You know what I mean? So this is it's really fun to be in front of everybody and to be talking about some things that are near and dear to all of us. I just want to say thank you to the Chamber and to the DoubleTree for hosting us this year again. And it's always it's impressive and humbling when we have so many residents and business owners and organizations, community partners, all here in one room together. So each year, this event's a very important event for us because it's proof of our connectedness, how we're together that makes Whittier a strong and unique community because we have lots of connections here. So 2025 so far has been what we call an interesting year. You know what I mean? When people say interesting, it usually means it hasn't been the greatest, but we don't want to get into it in great detail. You know what I mean? So, like other cities, we've faced some challenges in recent months, but what matters most is how Whittier comes together when we work side by side with shared purpose and determination, which is what we always do, to meet those challenges head on. And we're going to be talking a little bit about that. So we've had some passionate debate. Anybody watch city council meetings? If you do, you need to get a life, all right? It's been kind of crazy so far this year. And clearly we've listened, and there's been a lot of people who've shown up. We had to move meetings to the community center to the auditorium because there are so many people. And we've, as a council, have listened. And what's always interesting for us, I'm off the script, but what's interesting for us is when people come and talk to us, they have 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, depending upon how many people are there. And the people who come, they expect us to respond to them. Well, under the Brown Act, we can't do that. What we have to do is listen. And we've been doing a lot of that, a lot of listening. Conal's going to talk to you a little bit about that. But what's so important is that we do listen and we respond with things that are within our power to do. We can't do everything. We're at the local government level, and a lot of things that have come up have been federal in nature. And I think you all know what I'm talking about. But we're here to do everything we can within our power to meet the needs of our residents, our businesses. So we've heard some language and some rhetoric, candidly at the microphone, that is not in line with our community values of who we are as Whittier. And that language doesn't acknowledge the commitment we have to live in this community and to learn from one another respectfully. Whittier is a very special place, and we know that. We have much to offer each other, generation to generation. We hold certain values in our community that have come down from generation to generation. You all hear me talk about the fact that we were founded by the Quakers. They came here for a reason. And some of our values, unity, working together, respect, looking out for each other, understanding, not always agreeing, but understanding, and compassion. I have faith that we can, and we're going to achieve all those things, but we have to keep our eyes focused on who we are. So Whittier is also a very strong community. And though we don't always agree on everything, we agree on much more than we disagree on. I think that's a little bit about what Charlie Kirk was all about, and we need to listen more here in the community than we talk. And that's hard sometimes for some of us. I'm guilty, I understand, and some of you know I'm guilty. But we need to listen more than we talk, and we need to understand different points of view as best we can. So your city council remains focused on what matters most, supporting a thriving local economy and our businesses, ensuring the residents enjoy a high quality of life. Great schools, thank you schools who are here today, great schools, gathering spaces, programming, stuff for families, and keeping our public safety within our neighborhoods very, very strong. So these efforts we can all take pride in because every person in this community, in this room, all of us, play a role in making Whittier a great place to live, to work, to shop, to raise a family. And I just want to say, looking back to last year, I'm very pleased, candidly, that the people of Whittier strongly endorsed Proposition 36, and Nathan Hochman as district attorney, who supports our police officers. You don't know this, but the DA was here, Aviv was about 4 weeks ago, and came and talked to the officers because he's heard about Whittier PD. So we appreciate the fact that our officers are getting support from the district attorney's office now. So this morning you're going to hear a little bit more about our work to streamline services, cut through the red tape. And I have to tell you, I do believe that as retail is a bit down right now. Businesses, I don't know what's going on, but you just get the sense that not as many people are out shopping. They're not, our business, we're a little down. And you know, the question is, how long? And what can we do to get through? And I'm hopeful that the city is going to step up, and there's certain things that we can do and certain things we can't do, but the city will step up and try to help on that. We want to talk about, you're going to hear about maintaining a balanced budget. That's not always the way it is in many, many communities in Southern California. And the most important Measure W funding that we received that the people voted for, because we want to be accountable about that sales tax money that's come in. And you're going to hear how it's been spent. Public works and parks. You're going to see what's been done to improve infrastructure. Infrastructure is not sexy, but how many of you were driving down Painter just the other day and it was closed off? And you go, yeah, raise your hand. It was a pain in the patouche. Why? Because we had a water main break. Thankfully, our water guys, they're on it 24/7. And yeah, we had to shut down a little bit, but we got it fixed. And Whittier's an older city, so infrastructure is a big deal here, and we take it for granted. Our library team, Paymani. Everyone knows Paymani, right? Come on, let's give her a round of applause. Paymani. She's one of the top librarians in the state of California. You all don't even know it because you hang out in Whittier, but some of us who hang out statewide, she's one of the tops. And we're so fortunate to have her. We got some technology coming up and some other stuff that's cool stuff. So we actually really have much to celebrate, even though it's been kind of a crazy year. Rodeo 72. Who's been to Rodeo 72? Now, guys, parking is better. All right, parking is better. So I want you, I met some people the other day who haven't even been there yet. It's been open, 6 months, Conal? Something like that? So Rodeo 72, we have people, literally, we can track them. We have people from all over Southern California coming to Rodeo 72. Emilio, you hang out there a lot? Yeah. Los Nietos School Board. Good job, man. Good job. Parnell Park. Now, it's going to take a little bit of time. You're going to hear about that. But you hear me say, I'll say it publicly. A lot of people in our area that go to Orange County for parks, Orange County people are going to be coming to Parnell Park for parks because of what we're going to be doing there. It's going to take a little bit of time, but it's going to be one of the best parks in all of this end of LA and Orange County. So I'm looking forward to that. And this is all, guys, this is all for not just us now, but it's for our kids and our grandkids. We're laying the foundation now for the future of Whittier. So as we look to 2026, we're going to talk about respect, talk about shared responsibility, integrity, collaboration, working together. We in Whittier, as you know, I'm going to get off. We're all about what's number one. What's number one? What's number fun? One, public safety. So we're as we say to Aviv, we don't defund Whittier PD, we defend Whittier PD, and you're going to hear a little bit more about that today. We want to be safe, and we want to make Whittier the best place in SoCal to raise a family. And that means working together with the schools. That means making sure the water's clean, that we have great parks, that we have a clean city. That's what it's all about. Public safety, raising the families here in Whittier. So with that, I'm off the soapbox. We have a new guy in town. You all know, you've heard about Conal McNamara, right? So Conal's been here before, and so he kind of knows the community, but he's getting to know it in a little bit bigger way than he did last time. And everyone, this is his premiere. This is his coming out party today at the Whittier Chamber of Commerce. Ladies and gentlemen, Conal McNamara!
I just want to thank you all and welcome you here today. We're okay in the back? You hear me all right? They've given me a lot of things to do. I have to read from this, push this button, and check to make sure that it's all on, so I will do my best as we move forward with that. But I wanted to welcome you all, acknowledge the City Council. I'm going to do a slide on them in a minute. And just recognize our community partners, our chamber members, business leaders. You know, I'll talk in a minute about this. Well, why don't I talk now? You know, one of the first things I remember coming back when I first came was going to my first Wake Up Whittier. And I thought, who are all these people? There were like 300 people under a tent. And I came from a city with a very strong chamber, which was the city of Azusa, but it was about, you know, about half the size of Whittier, and the chamber membership reflected it. And I just remember being floored walking in and seeing so many people fired up, singularly focused, and just really supporting each other and supporting the city. And so that is really my first memory of the chamber. And you know, here I am, I find myself back again and in front of you all, and it's still the great organization that it was many, many years ago. So thank you for that, and a huge recognition to Shannon and everybody on her team at the chamber and the board as well. As Joe talks about a lot, and all the council members talk a lot. By the way, Joe used about 11 of my slides today, so that pretty much concludes my presentation. Enjoy breakfast. You know, one of the council's strategic goals is making Whittier business friendly. I think Whittier has been business friendly, but it's really important to all 5 council members, and it's important to the city staff. We have a very can-do attitude. We want to be facilitators, not regulators, and I think that's very, very important. Coming from a community development background, that's the only way that this works, is for us all to be together, rowing the boat in the same direction. So I also lastly want to recognize Margot Diamond and her team for putting this together. Margot very humbly did not put anything about herself in this presentation, so I added it, and justly so. A big part of what we do communication-wise happened over the past 5 years when I was not here, and it's just an incredible growth from 2020 to now. And I think this council, and certainly Brian Psyche and the team that worked on this for the past 5 years, has really built a team that will rival anybody. I mean, given the size of our city and the small number of people that Margot has on her team, I think we accomplish an incredible amount, and it's all there to try to promote the city and show the wonderful things that we really, really are. You know, you may think of your city council as just being there on a Tuesday night, but it's really much, much more than that. And I think that's an important story to tell everyone. We have a list of the organizations to which our city council members are members. And it's a big deal. Obviously, we are not an island. We work regionally with our partners. We work statewide. And I think our council members are all sitting on various boards, commissions, panels that are trying to further that goal of collaboration and pushing Whittier forward. And that could be, the mayor being on Revenue and Tax Committee for the League of California Cities, but really the two big ones right now, and I'm going to call them out. Councilmember Kathy Warner is chair of Los Angeles County Sanitation District Board, which is a huge, huge deal. These are the people that deal with all of our wastewater, all of Southern California, all Los Angeles County. And Kathy is chair of that board. Fernando Dutra, chair of LA County Metro Board. Huge. There's only 13 Metro members in all of Los Angeles County. 10 million people. It is really an incredible thing that Whittier has such a prominent role in these organizations. And I think that's something that is quite often forgotten by the public. They think your council just shows up every other Tuesday night, bangs the gavel, and moves a few items. But when they walk out of that room, they have tomes of information they're reading for other things they're doing, and it's all towards the goal of pushing Whittier forward. This is what stable leadership is, and it's really one of the reasons why I came back. There are a lot of unstable cities in Los Angeles County. We don't have to tick them off, but Whittier is not one of them. Whittier is a very stable place with good leadership, and it has been for many, many years and will continue to be for many, many years. So that's a huge pep talk that I have for Whittier, but I believe it. It's the reason why I came back. All right. I don't like pictures of myself, so I decided to put up pictures of the boys. These are my grandsons, Jack and George. This is an older picture. I promise I will get a new one in my current seat. But these are, quite candidly, the love of my life. Just a little bit about me. For those of you who don't know me, I was here from 2014 to 2020 as the Community Development Director. Ben Pongetti holds that position now. A wonderful time to be in Whittier. A lot going on, and as I come back, I realize there's just as much going on in different directions. And it takes really a village to get that done. I know we recognized earlier the staff here, but I want to recognize them again, because another reason why I came back is because of this team. This team, for the most part, was all here when I was here 5.5 years ago. And they may have been in different roles, but they were, by and large, all of them except one or two were here. And in a city this size with so much going on, you just cannot get it done without an amazing team, and this team is fantastic. So, in no particular order, other than, I believe, alphabetical by position, Assistant City Manager Shannon DeLong, the Chief of Police Aviv Bar, City Clerk and golf star Rigo Garcia, carried us every time. Director of Community Development is Ben Pongetti. He's not here today, but Luis Escobedo is here in his stead. The Interim Director of Finance, Tram Fan. Director of HR and Risk Management, Yolanda Martinez. Director of Library Services, the fabulous Paimani Magsudi. Best librarian in California. Director of Parks, Recreation, Community Services, Virginia Santana. And lastly, the Director of Public Works, Kyle Kaysen. You know, this is a team, we're texting at 10:30 at night on Saturday night. I mean, this is really true. This team is on it. Kyle will get a water main break at 10 o'clock at night, and the messages will be going around, and we'll all be working on that. That is what loyalty is. That's what a good team is. And I just want you to know from me, they already know it, but you guys as a community, as a business community and a residential community have it. And that, you know, again, speaks to the stability of this organization. A little fun fact here, I'm only the 9th city manager in 138 years since founding and 127 years since incorporation. That is, to me, an incredible statistic. There's only been 9 city managers here in that amount of time. That, to me, speaks volumes about what stability is. Okay. For a little local context, just in case you guys don't know, resident population somewhere in the neighborhood of 85, 86, 87,000. We're going to go up and down a little bit because of some annexations, because of what's going on at the Groves. Our unemployment rate's about 6.5%. We have 4.2 million out-of-market visitors annually, and these are visitors who come to Whittier but do not live or work here. So these are the people we want to capture to do business in Whittier among our residents. Our Whittier median yearly household income is just below $120,000 a year, and our median home value is just below $748,000. All right, let's touch real quickly about something the mayor was getting into, the federal immigration activity. I don't want to spend the entire day on this, but I think it's important and I want to recognize it. This is something that went down in Monday morning of my 5th week here. I think it threw everybody in Southern California off their axis a little bit. Very uncomfortable situation, unpleasant all the way around. It's been unseen for a long, long time. The city council did take some steps. The city council allocated $130,000 to the Interfaith Food Center and HOT to assist. Yeah, clap for them. That's good. As well as $50,000 for immigration legal assistance, which I think if you put up what this city council has done versus other cities, I think we are at or exceeding most of the cities that have done some things. What I do want to leave us with is what we do not do. The Whittier Police Department does not engage on immigration enforcement. I think this is important. There's a lot of misconception out there. Whittier PD wear badges, nameplates. They do not wear masks. And they are happy, as people who are proficient at community policing, to share their name, badge number, whatever it may be. We do not assist any federal agents. We are not allowed to, pursuant to SB 54. And I think it's important that we all remember that. The police department is not part of this, and I want everybody to walk out of here telling the story that you can still call the Whittier Police Department. They are your friends. They're never going to ask for immigration status or documentation at any point. So. Homelessness. It was an issue when I left. It's an issue now. It's an issue every city in Los Angeles County, every city in the state of California. And we're not unique in facing this problem. I think what we are unique in is meeting that challenge proactively. And I think we have done that with our partners, and I wanted to recognize some of our partners here. The Whole Child, yeah. Whittier First Day, the La Raza Jóvenes team, but really on the ground here, the city's Met team, which is the county and a Whittier police officer going out into the community to try to find folks who are in crisis and help them. And this, I think, is a critical step towards moving people through this process from homelessness to ultimately stability. So I just want to recognize Aviv and his team for being part of that and having a proactive approach and doing it with a smile. It is a very difficult job. There is a lot of need out there, and I don't think you could ever fund it truly as much as you need to, but we're very proud of what we're doing. There's a little shout out here. If you look at that QR code, this is a no trespass letter option that the Whittier Police Department has, so please feel free to click on that. And that will allow you the opportunity to send something into the police department where we can enforce no trespassing on private property. So if that's something that's interest to you, if you're having people trespassing on your private property, homeless or otherwise, please feel free to do that, and we'll make sure that we coordinate with you. All right, let's talk about money. Total revenue, this is general fund, about $109.5 million. This, coming from my old city, we were about $15 million. So we're significantly higher here. With that comes significantly higher costs. But this is a graph of your allocation of where that revenue is coming in. So Santa Fe Springs contributes. We're getting property tax, sales tax, and Measure W, which is something the mayor brought up. And we'll show you a graph in a minute, and we'll talk about the trend line of that Measure W, how much we're making and where it's going, which I think is very important. This is a tool that many, many cities have used, transaction and use tax, and it's critical for us to be able to continue to provide those services. As a business in town, as a resident in town, you generate property tax, sales tax. This is really important for us to be able to do what we do. So I wanted to show you where this money comes in from, so you can see the importance of property tax versus sales tax versus Measure W. This does not include enterprise funds, so this is not the water fund, the sewer fund, anything like that. This is pure general fund, which generally is fungible, meaning we can move it around to meet needs as we move forward. Our top sales tax generators, first quarter of 2025, you can see a list here. We get a quarterly report from our sales tax consultant that tells us who our top 25 generators are. This is public information. We're always happy to send it out, and if this is something you would ever want, we can give you, they give us something that's for the public and something that's confidential, but we're always happy to share the public information with the business community or any resident for that matter. We issued 437 business licenses since September of 2024, including new openings and ownership changes. That's huge. 437 new ones in the last year, which is wonderful. And I think it reflects the strong business community in Whittier and people willing to go out and take a chance and be those small businesses that really are the lifeblood of any community, especially ours. So I want to just give kudos to the Chamber. We had a meeting, Shannon and I, with Justin Tipton last week to talk about economic development and what we can be doing, sensing that we're not on a downturn, but it's a shaky time for a lot of people. It's hard to predict what's happening with tariffs, with interest rates, with the economy the way it is. It's a very, very challenging time. So much to what the mayor was saying, we're sitting down to start talking about what we can do as a city, perhaps polling chamber members to figure out how are you feeling, what's going on. We can look back at many, many quarters worth of data and see how businesses are doing and try to get data-driven results and data-driven proposals to really help people move forward. We need small business here as much as we need the top 25 that we just showed you. So, speaking about that, here is your sales tax update. This is the first quarter 25 versus the first quarter 24. And the way this works is we don't get solid data until about 6-7 months after the quarter. And that's just because everything has to be trued up, with the state. But you can see the building and construction is down, but not tremendously. If you look at these two graphs, or these two bar charts, you can see in green is quarter one of 2025, in gold is quarter one of 2024. So we're slightly down building and construction. We're steady with county and state pools. We're slightly down with restaurants and hotels. We're up on autos and transportations, and we're slightly down with fuel services. That to me, in combination with this, tells me that we're not in trouble. The seas can be choppy at times, and will be choppy at times. But I think, by and large, Whittier has a very, very strong base and a very strong economy, and we are moving forward quite well. This will show you our largest revenue sources: sales tax, Measure W, and property tax. You can see the steep, the middle line, which is Measure W. That steep increase is because that's when it was implemented. This was your transaction use tax Measure W that was approved. Once that kicked in, you see that steep rise. That's why you kind of see that line. But remember, that is a 0.75% sales tax increase. If it had been a 1% sales tax increase, it would be exceeding what we are getting from sales tax. It is a very, very powerful tool and will continue to grow. And I want to talk for a second about what you're getting for your money. Here's a chart talking about where the Measure W funding goes. Hiring and retaining police officers, homelessness, increasing neighborhood park and business patrols, maintaining streets, maintaining senior services, and providing general services. And more specifically, here's a list of the supported programs that we have been able to do and are continuing to do. Additional policing and patrols, PD operational systems and equipment, concrete, asphalt, parks, senior programs, the list goes on and on. This is all as a result of the Measure W effort that was underway and was adopted. Expanded family events, adaptive recreation, senior programs, Keeping Whittier Pretty programs, the things we can do out on the Greenway Trail to clean it up and make sure that this is the kind of place that people feel good going outside and recreating. And then there is public safety. I agree with what was said earlier. Public safety is the cornerstone of any community. It's how safe people feel. And it's also how safe businesses feel. You're going to want to open up a business in Whittier if it is a safe place. So we've hired 15 new officers. We've initiated a drone program. In fiscal year 24-25, there were almost 44,000 service calls to the police department. And I think it's important to remember this because many people just see a police officer and think, okay, but here's what really happens behind the scenes. Over 50,000 911 calls answered just in Whittier. The average emergency response time is 4 minutes and 48 seconds, which means on average, if you call 911, there will be a police officer coming to you in 4 minutes and 48 seconds, which is a very, very low and incredible number. And I think that's very, very important. I know it's absolutely number one in the eyes of the council, and I think many in the community, and we're working hard to make sure that we deliver. From public works standpoint, you know, of just a few fun facts, I mean, 183 miles of sewer inspected and cleaned, 2,000 potholes filled, 18,000 tons of recycling processed, 430 yards of concrete replaced. I mean, this is a huge, huge effort that Kyle and his public works team undertake every single day. There will be water lines that break. There will be sewer lines that break. We have very old infrastructure. The city is very, very old, and it's not about that happening, it's about how do we respond. And I think we try to respond in a way that puts the residents first. The other day we had a break near Ocean View Elementary, I think it was over by there. You know, we were already distributing water in the middle of the night to the people we knew were going to lose water service to make sure in the morning they had water. That's the way that Kyle and his team think and work. They think 5 steps ahead, recognizing this job's going to take 12 hours. We're going to have to shut people's water off. Let's make sure they have bottled water so that they're not in a lurch. And little things like that, I think, are really what make this community special. And then there's the library. And I see a smile on Paimani's face. We just unveiled the new monument sign, which officially completes the 2020 library renovation, which actually was going on entitlement when I was here previously. It's a beautiful library, it's a beautiful facility, the sign is great. I encourage everybody, please visit the library. We have 68,000 registered card holders, 190,000 visits in a year, 1.3 million electronic resources used. Libraries are adapting. It's no longer the old way that it was when I was a kid, going to the library and checking out a book. We have an online presence now. We have abilities to get books out to people in different and unique ways. And I applaud Paimani and her team for really pushing that as hard as she can. We have 40,000 attendees at events, 14,000 summer reading books, 53,000 passports we've processed since 2002. You can get your passport at the library. These are services that are here for everybody. And I want to give a big shout out to the Whittier Public Library Foundation. This is an incredible foundation team that contributes a lot of funding to the library. It is probably one of the more difficult things in being the library director here, but also one of the more rewarding, working with that group to really deliver and supplement what the city can do in such a positive way. And I know Paimani gets donations from $100,000 to $1 million at various different times, and that really speaks to the strength of loyalty to the library system and our residents, you know, ultimately leaving money to the library, which is just incredible. Annual Booktoberfest is nearly sold out. Join us this Thursday, October 9th. You can get your tickets via the Whittier Public Library Foundation, but we'd love to see you all there. Parks, Recreation, Community Services. You Yes. Not to be, Virginia, not to be outdone. We have 26 facilities in this city in our park network. I mean, it's really incredible when you think about it. We're about a 14, 15 square mile city. There are a lot of facilities, and that doesn't include the Greenway Trail, which transverses the entire city. I think we are very fortunate to have such a great network in place and a city council that wants to keep growing it, because I think they believe providing open space resources for our residents are vital, especially the younger ones that need it. 1,555 classes, 11,784 participants. That's a 20% increase recently. The swim program has 1,782 water-safe students, 1,782 students, which is incredible. 37,000 attendees at Summer at the Parks events. That's really, really incredible and a wonderful draw. So a huge thank you to Virginia and her entire team for a wonderful amenity in our community. All right, we all remember the Palisades and Altadena fire, a little too close for comfort. We live in North Glendale. It was very close for us. It was a horrible, horrible night that first night, but it's something I think a lot of people in Whittier are very, very concerned about, and you should be. We need to be working together to make sure that we're doing everything we possibly can to keep people's homes safe in the event of a fire. And that could mean everything from stopping somebody from lighting that fire all the way to making sure that we are having proper brush clearance so that we don't have homes burn. Recently, the City Council approved a new helihydrant project, as well as state fire maps, which are going to help. And you'll be seeing the helihydrant unveiled shortly, but it's an exciting project, and it's basically going to give the fire department helicopters an opportunity to land and draw water quicker than they were before, which will help us all out here if there is, God forbid, any kind of fire in the hills. Murphy Reservoir replacement, which is a 2.3 million gallon reservoir. That'll improve resiliency in firefighting. And then our storm drain capture devices will be coming soon, that were recently approved. And these are just examples of what I think our Public Works infrastructure team is working on. Fire Station 17, beautiful building, old outdated fire station. We have been working with the fire department. I believe funding was approved, and we have an architect now in design, but we are going to be expanding Fire Station 17 and relocating it to a new location. This is an important station. It's the first one that's going to be called if there's anything up in the hills. So it's critical for us to make sure that they have the proper apparatus there to be able to fight fires on those homes that are, long and winding streets, very difficult to get a regular rig up in. So Kyle and his team are working with the fire department to make sure that we design this properly. This will improve response time and safety, and we hope to have something probably in the next 6 months or so. Kyle says yes. Ready to unveil to the public. Building for the future. We can talk about this. Well, let's talk about it. The Metro-funded 5 Points Hotspots project was going on when I was here before. Basically, we get money from Metro to improve the circulation through the 5 Points intersections. And you guys know, anybody that's driven it, the 5 Points intersection is nothing we would approve today, let's put it this way. We had a blank canvas, and Kyle was designing a roadway network. I don't think he would pick 5 Points as the example, but it is what it is. It's very charming, but it's also very dangerous. And we are working hard to improve that, and Kyle has recently got something approved that will improve that and hopefully make the traffic flow along Whittier Boulevard a lot better. And we'll talk in a minute about the fact that we recently took over Whittier Boulevard, which is really, really important. All these pieces will come together. Another exciting thing, we're having a Gateway Cities COG broadband fiber project where we're going to be bringing increased connectivity and more providers into Whittier. That's a huge deal for us to be able to bring that in all through the COG. Again, an organization our council is very prominent on in terms of seating. And then our water master plan. We are updating our 100-year-old system to improve firefighting and reduce water main breaks, and these are all ongoing things, but they are going to make it a better quality of life, I think, for residents and businesses in the community. Parks. Let's talk for a second about parks. We have a parks master plan, which is visible on our webpage if you ever want to see it. We talked about this being an important investment in the community from the eyes of the City Council. The Parnell Park improvements, we did a groundbreaking in August. We hope to have the amenities in place by 2027. This is going to be soccer fields, a redo of the zoo. We don't call it a petting zoo, we call it a storybook. And this is a true story and a funny story. Our grandkids asked me, our youngest, George, asked me why I changed jobs, and I said, well, my new job has a zoo. So he knows now there's a zoo. Grandpa's work has a zoo, so I'm waiting to take him to the zoo. Yeah, that's a true story. First Avenue Park is in design phase, and Broadway Park, we just kicked off a community meeting about a week and a half ago, give or take, to really start hearing from the community. That is the first park that's set to be renovated on the park master plan. So we're excited about doing that. That's in a place where it's a great community park and will be really well utilized by the residents up in that area off Broadway. Transition to Athens services. As of November 1st of this year, we will have one waste hauler in the city, which certainly makes it easier for staff, and we're grateful for that, but we're hoping that it makes it better for the residents and the businesses as well. So Athens will be the exclusive provider starting November 1st. We're having additional Uptown Alley Porter service. In January of 2026, you should have new carts delivered, and Athens will be responsible for removing all the old carts. I will say there was a billing issue with Republic. Anybody here a Republic customer? Okay. There was a billing issue, and they mistakenly billed for 3 months. That is all going to be corrected. You do not have to pay 3 months worth. And I think there was something going around that they were going to shut off service. That is not true either. You can call Republic at 800-299-4898. Please do not call Kyle to square this away, but I think they will be resending new bills. This was their error, and it should be all good in no time. All right, let's talk about some development by geography. Uptown. I want to just thank again the Chamber and the Uptown Whittier Improvement Association and the Whittier Uptown Association. We have representatives from UWIA or WUA here? All right. One. Okay. Yay, Jenny. I remember being here when we set up the UWIA. It was a heavy, heavy lift, but it got done. And in concept, it was the idea that we would have property owners, and then we would have business owners, and we would have the city together working towards making Uptown the best that it could be. Everybody with its assigned roles. It's nice to come back and see these organizations still active, but I wanted to give a shout out to those groups because I think Uptown is an area that really, really needs that focused effort. It's a gem. It really is a beautiful part of this city, and it is extremely unique. And like many unique things, it needs a little extra love here and there. It is subject to ups and down swings more readily than other areas in town, but it is something that definitely makes Whittier unique. And so I'm excited to come back and really work with those organizations. Uptown was always a wonderful spot for me in the city, and I'm looking forward to getting out there and doing whatever we can to make things better. We do have condos going in on Comstock. The city is still discussing development on our Alpha Beta site. We have activity at the Citrus Packing House over on Whittier Boulevard, the King Richard site. And we have the Olson project, which is across the street from City Hall and down, going on right now. So there is some development going on. We're hoping that this is going to stimulate better business growth in this area, and we're excited about it. The city did pick up the Greenleaf parcels, the old Shane Astani and Alana Body pieces, which we were trying to do years ago when I got here, so kudos to the City Council for being able to get that done and over the finish line. That'll give us more opportunity in the Uptown area to address park space, parking, whatever it is we need to do to be able to complement what's going on in the business community. And the Bright Motel demo, which is something I think that was going on years and years ago as well. So it's nice to come back and see a lot of things being done. Along Whittier Boulevard, you know, Whittier's always in a constant state of change. When I was here before, we were reeling from the loss of all of the car dealerships. I think there was 6, 7, 8 vacant parcels, big ones, out on the boulevard. And in the 5.5 years we were here, and a little bit I was here, and the time before it, all of them were filled with something. You know, quality uses going in. So I tend to look, as a former community development person, less about, well, what's going on right now, and more about how do we recover. And I think Whittier historically recovered really, really well, and I think Whittier will continue to recover really, really well. So whatever we're seeing right now, and you're going to see some buildings closed. You know, Joanne's is going to become a multi-tenant medical office. The Sears just closed at the Whitwood Town Center. That's a big building. You know, we're going to be working with them to try to find something that works there that keeps moving this city forward. The Office Depot site will be a Mr. Car Wash and some retail. And I know there's a lot of thoughts about car washes in the city right now, myself included. Rodeo 72 and the Groves are thriving, and really thriving. Like the volumes of people going to that Rodeo 72 are tremendous, off the chain. We were working with the property owner the other day on some of the parking problems there to try to make it a little bit better for folks to be able to park and go to Rodeo 72, and I think we've made some headway there. We just learned that Amazon Fresh is closing. That's at the Friendly Hills Marketplace. I don't know, anybody ever shop there? Yeah, small number. I myself, I went once. I didn't really get the concept, but I appreciate it. It's a beautiful building and a very clean center. We're already talking to the property management there. They're going to be actively marketing it to bring in another retail grocer, which is going to be great. We just want to make sure in these situations that we are working with property owners on bringing in new business so that we don't have vacant buildings sitting there. That to us is the most important thing. All right, the Whittier Cruiser. Who's been on the Whittier Cruiser? I think a few people here and there. All right. This is our all-electric shuttle, 5-passenger app-based. And we did a partnership where we got funding from Metro, I believe, to be able to pay for this for a year. So it's free during the first pilot year. And the service area right now is Uptown, the Quad, the Groves, and our trailhead areas. So what we're doing is we're tracking all of the data to see who's using it, where are they going, but more importantly, we're going to be wanting to talk to the Uptown Association and the Chamber. How has this impacted businesses? Are we getting an uptick in business from these? How do people feel about it? It's a powerful tool that we can do, but it's an expensive one, and we want to make sure that we're getting cluck for the buck here to be able to push people towards purchases. You know, we want this to be complementary to our businesses. Getting in your car and driving, if you can just jump in the cruiser and go pick up what you need and have it take you right back home, that's the way to go. No different than an Uber, except that it's free and it's charming. And again, I think Margot and her team did a fantastic job working with the City Council before I got here on the design of it and how it's launched. So kudos on that. Statistics on it right now, we've had over 5,800 riders, almost 3,000 miles logged with a 4.9 rating. This equates to 546 gallons of gas saved and contributes to the community connectiveness. But most importantly, we're looking to branch this out and do free rides in 2026 for the municipal election to the polling stations. That's something that Rigo's working on, and I think that's really a great idea. You know, parents can jump in this with their kids and show them how they can ride for free to a polling station and vote. So I'm very excited about that coming up in 26. The PINGO Dial-A-Ride app. Did I see Delia in the audience? I thought I saw it. There. I learned about this the other day at the Senior Center because Delia Morales invited me to go to the Senior Center, and I did. And this was one of the most interesting things. The Dial-A-Ride is now app-based, and seniors can access this from their phones. And it's just an eye-opener for me and for a lot of people. So I wanted to give a little recognition to this, and thank you, Delia, for inviting me that day. And really, it was a wonderful committee meeting, commission meeting, and this is very, very exciting to bring this kind of technology to our seniors and allow them to monitor and track the ride and know when it's going to be exactly at their house. So I'm really excited about that moving forward. And they can ride on the new Whittier Boulevard, which is finally Whittier's. So congratulations, Whittier, on finally having Whittier Boulevard out of Caltrans jurisdictional authority and into the city of Whittier. So we now have control of the entire corridor from the 605 freeway to the Orange County line. And this allows us to really expand our economic development goals, beautification, discourage unsafe speed, and really have a better alignment of Whittier Boulevard with what we think it should be in terms of the major thoroughfare going through the city of Whittier. So we're excited to have that, and you'll be seeing some changes in the coming months and years about how we spruce it up, make it look a lot nicer, and make sure we're moving people most efficiently across the city. Completed projects, Rodeo 72 in the Groves, 272,000 visits since May of 2025, which is huge. 16.5% of rodeo traffic shops in Whittier afterwards. This is what's important, and we'll talk in a second about an app we're using in the city to track people and where they're going and hopefully try to stimulate business. As part of the team that entitled Nellis years ago, it's great to come back and see it fully formed. I know Monica Oviedo lives there. I know some other people do. It's a wonderful community, and to have Rodeo 72 be part of that and have the Groves keep expanding. I know there's still uses they're going to be putting in. It's really incredible to come back and see that. This is what we're all about: charm, culture, community. This is our identity. It's really a livable place we're trying to create. Parks, recreation, arts, libraries. If you look at all of our commissions, this is a full-service city in terms of providing culture and experience to our residents. The quality of life is critical, and the business community is a huge part of that. So I can't reinforce enough how much the relationship between the business community and the city is important. So, innovation since our last State of the City: broadband expansion, digital permitting, 365 app upgrades, website redesign, emergency communications upgrades. We have a Poet Laureate program. We have a new branding rollout that's coming very shortly. And we're exploring new programs and technology to improve the resident experience. And I want to hear from any and all of you if you ever have questions or concerns or input into that. I think it's very important, and we want to have you be part of that. Placer AI is technology that we've been using to track consumer and commuter trends. If you think about it, the way technology tracks us all, you can harness that. So we can see where people are going, which businesses they're going to, where they're going after that. And we can track that based on a geographic area. So these are the things that we're looking at now, and we'll be working with the Chamber and the Uptown Association on to support business attraction and really understand through data where people are going and why. And this is important. With Placer AI, we see 5.7% visited Whitwood Town Center after the extravaganza in 2025. So we can just track where people are going, and this is, I think, a tool that we can use in partnership with the business community to really help you all move forward. What's coming? 2026 World Cup, 2028 Olympics. We are preparing for that. I know the chief had a briefing this week with Secret Service talking about what's going to need to happen if we have dignitaries or if we have athletes staying in Whittier. It is incredible what we need to be able to provide in terms of policing and services. But there are opportunities here. You know, with all of this, hopefully will come an uptick for business, and we need to be out in front of that. So we're working on that right now, and we'll be working with the Chamber and the Uptown Association to do what we can to make sure that we capture as much of that traffic as possible and and help our businesses out with it. This QR code, you can register for a regional supplier portal if you want to click on that. This will be available afterwards if you wanted. You don't have to click on it now, but there are resources there. 2026 municipal election, April 14th, 2026. Get ready. Website redesign launch is going to be expected. The first Poet Laureate program and the first year of Whittier College Civic Scholars Partnership will be happening in 2026. I want to encourage you to read the city's monthly newsletter. We can certainly send it out to you. There's a QR code here if you would like to see it. It covers everything from community events, hazardous waste cleanup. This current issue has Halloween-themed events, so please, scan the QR code if you want and subscribe, and we'd be happy to send it out to you. And Joe talked about this earlier when he was up, engaging with your city. I want to encourage you all to stay active and be involved. The mayor was right. It's gotten a bit nasty at times in our council meetings. I'm hoping that's just a temporary thing, but I want to encourage people to be part of your city. We need to hear from you. Quite often we only hear from a small segment, and it's important for your voices to be heard, especially those of you who own businesses and property in the city. It's very, very, very important. So please don't be shy. Don't be put off by what you're seeing. It is an unfortunate sign of the times, but we still nonetheless need to hear from everybody in the city, not just a small number. That pretty much sums it up. And I again want to thank the Chamber for putting this on. I want you all to follow the city's social media. They do a great, great job. It's really a pleasure to work with a team that is so focused on that. Again, coming from a city where we didn't have any of this because we were so small, we didn't have a Chamber of Commerce. La Palma did not have a Chamber of Commerce through no fault of their own. They just didn't have the critical mass of business to make something like that happen. So it's wonderful to be able to come back into a room and see all these people singularly focused and really working towards that common goal. So please follow the city on social media, download the Whittier 365 app, continue engaging with your city, and reach out to us. We want to hear from you. I want to hear from you. We have a big team. We do want to hear from you. I think that's really important. Personally, I live in the city of Los Angeles. I don't think it's possible for me to talk to my mayor. I really, truly believe that's what's special about a community like this, is each one of you can reach out to your elected leader and speak to your elected official. And I don't get that same luxury. So I take that very serious in providing that service back to the community. I'm happy to sit down and talk to anybody, and our team is as well, especially if we're talking about trying to make Whittier better. And so that's my commitment to you, each of you. And I want you to please take me up on that. We want to hear from you. We have an army of people here who want to help. And with that, I'm going to answer some questions. Somebody wrote, this is an interesting question. You've been gone for 5 years. Coming back from a financially conservative city, how do you feel about Whittier's finances? It's a good question. Very conservative city where I was, but so conservative that they wouldn't spend money. And that's not necessarily bad. They were always worried about what might happen. We here have very strong reserves. I think we're sitting somewhere in the neighborhood of 100% reserves, 50% unallocated and 50% allocated. That to me far and away exceeds what a city of our size would need to have to be safe. Bare minimum, I think people in trams industry would tell you, you want to have about 25%, 30, 35% reserves as a minimum. We're significantly above that. So I feel great about Whittier's finances, and I feel great about what this council has done over the past 5 years to get Measure W across the board, and how they've really mapped out a way to put that back into the community. We want to be able to do things for the community. We want to be able to renovate our parks. We want to be able to clean up our Greenway Trail. We want to be able to do a new fire station. We want to have money and be able to spend money for things like that. So I'm actually quite bullish on our financial state of the nation. Well, I have to read Glenn McClure's. What visual and measurable steps are being taken to speed up development, commercial and private? We have about 22 people in the community development department. We are there to make development happen as quickly as possible. We do have committees and we do have commissions, and quite often they need to go through that process. And we do have requirements for environmental that require us to notice things and prepare certain documents. But it's our goal, and certainly as a former community development person, to move projects, good quality projects, through the system as quickly as we possibly can. So that's, again, my commitment. I'll have to read, I had two questions here on Sears, I believe. What's going to happen to Whitwood and the closing of Sears? We don't know. We are working with not only the Whitwood Town Center folks, but also the people that control the Sears building. That's under lease, obviously. So we are meeting with both of those people regularly to talk about what can be done at that site. We recognize that that is a critical building in that center, and that we want to make sure to put the right thing there that's going to stimulate more development and growth on the east end of town. It's no secret that these larger boxes are kind of going the way of the dodo, so to speak. They are outdated. I don't think Sears was using anywhere near 100% of that building for many years, as others aren't either. Burlington Coat Factory had the same problem at the Quad. It's just the state of how we used to build things versus how people are shopping now. So I think the important thing for us is to make sure we're using data that Werner and his team in economic development can harness to understand how people shop, and then work with property owners to put something in that's going to be good down the road, not just good right now. That's going to be the challenge. I don't have any easy answers for the Sears building, but it is a very important building, and it's all hands on deck with us right now to try to make sure that we do something there. So with that, I think that's the end of my opportunity to answer questions. But we're always around. I'll stay around if anybody has any questions. And again, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much, Conal, for such a wonderful presentation. We appreciate you. Before you leave today, we invite you to visit the tables along the wall, hosted by various departments right back there. As you can see, they're waving. A special thank you to the police department, the library, and the Parks, Recreation, and Community Services department for joining us today. City staff are here to answer questions and provide information about many resources and community events happening throughout Whittier. So please ask them any questions that you have. We'd also like to take one more opportunity to recognize and thank our sponsors: Athens Services, Boys and Girls Clubs of Whittier, Pico Rivera, DoubleTree Hotel Whittier, Kaiser Permanente, PIH Health, Republic Services, SoCal Gas Company, Suburban Water Systems, The Whole Child, and the YMCA of Greater Whittier, and MAP Property Management and Services. Your support, yes, thank you. Your support truly makes events like this possible, and we thank you. So thank you again for attending. We hope you had a wonderful morning, and we will see you soon. Thank you so much.